All right, folks, welcome back. It is day 123. 欢迎大家好. All right, let's hop right into this. I'm pumped. Ooh, second win. Come on. Hey, unit 33. How do I organize this? Tianqi. 天气. Xiaxue. 下雨. Le. 的. Wait. No, yeah. 花. 刮着风. 刮着下着雪. 刮着大风. 大风. "外面. 里面. Oh no. Oh, wait.如果就 嗯嗯嗯嗯 No, I think that's okay. 看书还是电影？电影 Oops. 电影外面外面大大大さ大さ大嗯嗯 Oh, I remember what die is. Yes. Die song. Also, 晴天晴天还是阴阴阴天阴天阴天需要出去哦可能可能出去重来重来重来 I think that's good. I think not too bad. We still got it. Unit 32. Can't possibly still be on body parts. Can we? No, travel issues, right? Oh, daily locations. 加学校机场商场商店酒店公司公司那公司公司办公室怎么办？N I 不眼镜镜让让得买票要做要停一个半小时走路开车飞机汽车火车 Oops. No one saw that. Fine. 知道，知道。可以。Wait. 可以。Yeah. Why am I? Oh, 可以。Yeah, 可以。There was something about Unit 33 that I kind of need to remember. Some grammar stuff? No, I guess it's with 这. We have an example. 九, 九. Yeah, 九. Not sure about 教. I think we have a 教. But 九. Alright. That's good enough. At 30 minutes. Pretty quick on the Chinese side of things. Okay, Li Ting. Cause I guess it's a little shorter. 吃. 吃. Li Ting 吃. 迟到. 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 不让. 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 Actually, 不让, right? Oh no, 不让. Okay. 不让. 不让. 开车远机场进飞机 The heck did G go? Oh, 飞机讲半小时的火车The heck is 票怎么办？可以。Alright, fair enough. 明天下雪。We're using 花子带伞。如果要 Oh man, lung, sure, lung is good. Wait, do we have warm? Lung. Oh, it's used to contrast with sunny. Fine, lung. Okay, so I gotta remember this. Good practice. Yeah. 下雨. This is 下了, which we caught up with now. Li. Li. 里面可能外面看出大分 花这分重来。Okay, so just long. That's fine. I'll take it. Oh, this is the last day? Man, I'm so behind here too. Oof.
我的哥哥这个周末在医院。我哥哥
我
的哥
哥
在
我的哥哥
这个周末
在医院。
我今天要请假。
我的女儿明年会住在英国。我
的女儿明年住在会住在纽约。英国。I forgot 女儿。
我的妈妈下个星期会请假。
我的妈妈下个星期会请假。下个星期。
她的丈夫下个星期会在纽约。她
的丈夫。That's funny. That 丈夫 is 丈夫。I just made that connection, and I could have made that connection yesterday. But 丈夫。她的丈夫。
她的丈夫下个星期会在纽约。
下个星期天。
她的丈夫下个星期会在纽约。会
在纽约。
在纽约。
对。
非常。
周末。
妻子。狗。
医院。
这个孩子每天坐公共汽车去学校。
这个孩子每天坐公共汽车去学校。可以我们可以坐公共汽车去学校吗？
我们
可以
坐
公
共汽
车
去
学校吗？
学校吗？
你会住在哪里？明年你会住在哪里？明年
你会住在
哪里？
哪
儿 Okay, that's fine too. What TV shows do you watching? What TV show?你们喜欢看什么电视节目？
你们看喜欢看什么电视节目？
我的女儿明年会住在英国。
我
我的
的女儿，Oh yeah，
女儿
女儿
会住
会住
在
在纽约，no，英国。
英国。
喂，我的女儿会住在明年。
明年
对，哎，
他们11点开门。
他们11点开门。
上午8点45分。
下午，
上午
8点
8点
8点45分9点45分。
上午8点45分，45分。
对，
他不喜欢坐地铁。
他不喜欢坐地铁。
我在这儿下车吗？
我在这儿下车吗？
我在
这儿
这儿
下车吗？下车吗？
下车吗？
你也可以坐船去那里。
你也可以坐船去那里。Okay. In the morning? 下午8点。下午8点加 No, they just went with 45分。Yeah, that
上8 45
I
分
was。gonna say 上午9点加一课 as opposed like a quarter to 9 8:45。
我昨天见了我的医生。
我昨天见了我的医生。
医生。
他病了。他生病了，所以or no 所以他生病了。他在房间里睡觉。or 因为 or what there's got to be a connector, right? No, this is before the connector. I see.
他
生病了。
生病了。
对，他生病了。在房间里睡觉。
房里睡觉。
I was gonna add like 因为or like 所以 or something to connect them. Like 因为他生病了，所以他在房间里睡觉。Something like that. Or maybe I don't need to repeat her she twice. I only got off work at 11 last night. no. Oh no, I totally forgot what this is. What is it?
才
哦，才我昨天晚上 我昨天晚上11点下班。
我才
maybe no
才
我
昨天晚
上 no
才
I don't know 才 goes first 我才昨天晚上
才
no 我昨天晚上
才
才
11点
下
班
No. Is it at the very end? It's at the very end. Interesting. So the time comes before all of it. Okay, I wasn't sure. Because 会 can come in between sometimes. Alright, sure.
我
昨天晚上
11点
我昨天晚上11点才下班。
下班。
我们用手机看新闻。
我们用手机看英文。not 英文。Wait, did they actually say no? 新闻。
今天晚上他们在哪儿？
今天晚上他们在哪儿？
地铁站在酒店的旁边。
地铁在酒店的旁边。地铁okay, let's see. 地铁站地铁站在酒店酒店的旁边。
下午我要去商店。
下午我要去商店。下午我要商店。下午
她打扮得很漂亮。
她打扮得很漂亮。她很漂亮。她打扮得很漂亮。
现在是晚上11点06分。
现在是晚上现在是晚上11点06分。okay. Okay.
牛肉
旅游面条地铁爱好
他在家看报纸。他
在家看
报纸。
牛肉为什么？
苹果商店
鸡肉
请问出租车站在这儿吧？在这里吗？ What are they gonna go with? 这儿 No 这里。 Alright.
请问
请问
出租车站
在这里吗？呢？哦 ，is there？哦，请问这里
这里
这里
有
这里有出租车站吗
吗？
？There is there. Okay. She dressed up beautifully. 她打扮得很漂亮。
他打扮得
Oh wait, maybe it is day. I have to double check.
很漂亮。
No, that's a degree. Pretty sure it's the. Okay. All right. Off we go.
阴天的时候，我喜欢在家看书。
阴天的时候，阴天的时候。I forgot about 时。Gotta remind myself of that 时候 it's time 阴天的时候
阴天的时候我喜欢在家看书。
我喜欢在家看书。
在看书。
今天的天气不冷。
今天的天气不冷。
晴。雪。
雪。
迟。雨。停。雨。伞。雨。阴。带。
雪。
伞。
昨天北京昨天是北京昨天是晴天。
北京昨天是晴天。
外面下着雨，你出去要带伞。
外面下着雨，你出去要带伞。
明天可能会下雪。
明天可能会下雪。明天在哪里？
明天
可能会下雪。
下雪。
外面下着雪。别出去玩。
外面
下
着雪。
别去。
别出去玩。
Okay. How cold would it be? 明天 明天有，明天有，有都有都狼吗？有都狼，有都。
今天，今天，明天有，
明天
会
有
多
狼，会多狼，
会。
Okay, I was like, like singing in the rain. 他喜欢，wait，他在他在雨里，他喜欢唱，唱在雨里，
他
喜欢
在
唱歌在雨里，or maybe
在雨里，
他在雨里喜欢唱歌，whichever. Yeah, it's either. Wait. 他喜欢在雨里。他喜欢Oh, yeah. He likes singing. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. 如果 wait, 如果 maybe 如果 no. When it snows? 如果下雪no. Just when it snows. So 下雪
如果下雪
no.
如果下雪
大雪oh, when it rains, oh, time. So 下雪的时候很漂亮，这里很漂亮。Yeah, I keep forgetting. 时候的时候 That's the one thing I have to remember. So we're gonna have to have that. 的时候 okay. 的时候我的家人 Wait. I could also draw and paint. Yeah, I can also draw and paint a bit. Digitally, I can't draw and paint practically, although I haven't tried. I don't know if it transfers.
你好，
我的家人在里面。
在里面。
为什么你从来不来看我们？
为什么你从来 I just realized, did I change the... I did. Okay. What were I doing at the start of live? I was doing Inktober. Today's day 2 of Inktober. So we draw every day in October.
为什么你从来不来看我们？
为什么你从来不来看我们？
为什么你从来不来看我们？为什么你从来不
重来
菜
whoops
菜来看
重来不来看我们。
我们。
Oh, thank you, Penguin.
就
如果周末下雪，我们就在家看电影。
I typically only exclusively draw things in October, but it has been 3 years. So it has been 3 Octobers since this October.
如果周末下雪，我们就在家看电影。
如果下雪，如果下雪，我们在家。
我们
在家。
在家
看电影。我们就在家看电影。
如果周末下雪，我们就在家看电影。
如果周末下雪，我们就在家看电影。
如
里面有什么？
如果
Oops，
如果里面
有
什么？
瓜。
Oh, I think I said 瓜子 Why do you never come to see us? Okay.
为什么
你从来不来看我们？
从来不来看我们？
You know, MAKU low-key gave me idea that I could implement, so should I get back to streaming and making content? I don't know. It's up to you. Only you have the answer for that. Let me know. I would love to see it.
就伞如雪
花。
如果明天下雨，我们就不出去。我们如果
明天下雨，
明天
下雨，
我们
就不出去。Okay.
带如就刮阴
今天下午会刮风。
今天下午会刮风。
如果你不能来，就一定要告诉我们。
I forgot what I was supposed to remember. Oh no. I told myself I was going. Now I've forgotten. Okay.
如果你不能来，就一定要告诉我们。
如果你不要不能来
不来，就
一定要告诉我们。You stopped year ago when you missed out on a chance to win 20K. But how does that matter with why you stopped? Was there a reason you started for the 20K? I'm a little confused. Sounds like an opportunity, but I don't necessarily think how that's related to stopping something. Opportunities are extra. It'll be very windy tomorrow, unless it has something to do with what you were streaming.
明天
Or what content you were creating, I mean. 明天会刮子 刮刮大风，OK。
刮大风，
外面，外面刮着，外面刮着风。
外面刮着风。
Okay, one more.
阴天的时候，我喜欢在家看书。
Yeah, true, but you see, I used to be a professional gamer and I need a lot of money to buy the best equipment. I don't think the equipment defines the gamer, but if it felt like you needed equipment to be a professional gamer, I suppose I can understand that. I think that if I had to be really straight with you, that's a fallacy. That's a logical fallacy. However, if it motivates you because you got the best equipment, then I concede that that might be very useful for you to maintain that. FPS internet is key. Sure. I think that's a logical fallacy. However, you can if that is very important to you, then I can't change your mind about it. So that sounds reasonable. So you quit being a professional gamer because you needed a lot of money. You're at a disadvantage, you have low FPS and high ping. Well, you can still be a professional gamer. About that, I think you're talking about being a competitive person in a competitive space. I can assure you that there have been professional FPS players that managed with such things and became professional because of it, not missing the opportunity of something that requires you to be a good player in the first place. So, at least in my opinion. But I'll take your word for it. I'm not here to argue since I didn't pursue professional gaming myself. Although I do have to admit that there was that urge to do so at the start of MLG, which was when I was a college student.
阴天的时候，我喜欢在家看书。
阴天的时候。
阴天。
阴天的时候。
的。
阴天的时候。
时候。
阴天的时候。
我。
我在家，我喜欢在
家
看书。
看书。
I earnestly, I'm being really direct with you. I earnestly cannot encourage people to have the mindset that their capacities and aptitude, a skill, is bound by their availability of a tool. However, it certainly helps that person quite a lot. So it does help. So the answer is both. However, you are creating a narrative that suggests that you would quit being a professional gamer because you didn't have enough money. I think that doesn't include my perspective. So I wanted to add my perspective. It's both. I'm not saying it's not a problem or disadvantage. I'm saying that's not sufficient to stop you from becoming a professional gamer. It's very different. Like for me, I would not say you are not wrong, but it depends on circumstances. I don't think so. You're creating circumstances to excuse yourself, at least in my opinion. You were a kid in a country that didn't even take gaming seriously. You're describing a lot of people, but that doesn't necessarily make you unique in your situation. Resources were scarce and you had to get them from abroad. Again, you're not unique to that situation. Actually, esports are not taken seriously anywhere outside most of the time. And again, if you say it depends on the circumstances, it always depends on circumstances. So that is not a valid excuse. Cozy wants to know how old are you, and Cozy wants to know what game. It's an FPS. That's That's what was mentioned, Cozy. So if I had to take a jab, maybe in any range from CS:GO, Overwatch, Valorant, Apex Legend. Like 0 tournaments back then, 0 servers, 120, 60 FPS, and I was 14 back then, I guess. Yeah. I'm being, so if you're not 14 now, the mindset that you have, I am a little bit concerned. However, that's just me being very direct. I'm not usually this direct, but I feel like you have a fairly passionate and mature outlook from all your opportunities. Generally speaking, though, I'm the most concerned if I'm talking to someone far along, like 30 years old, that talk, like, approach things that way, because generally means that you slam the door. You slam the door on opportunities a lot of times. And if you're old, sure. If you're younger, maybe not so much. So I'm sorry to hear that you didn't get it. You're 23. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that your original like plans didn't work out. Early peak gaming. For him, no. He was 14 then. He's 23 now. So it's been a while. And now you're having a inspiration to do something again. And does that involve playing video games again? Or something? Because that's where the conversation started. I asked you want to go back to streaming and making content. So does that mean you're interested? Oh, I think the comment was removed maybe because of YouTube moderation or YouTube auto mod or something. Because revealing ages can be compromising if you're too young. But if you're 23, I think that's perfectly all right. I'm sure you are very responsible at that age. For sure, I want to get back to making content, only this time I want it to be beneficial. Oh, you removed it by misclick. That's fair enough. I mean, it can be tough, but dreams are dreams because of that. My point that I really want to make aggressively is that when you're young, it is very easy to rationalize. And I don't want to be someone who says, oh, well, that sucks. Obviously, yeah, you couldn't have been a professional gamer. And there's only like one opportunity, that kind of thing, right? So I didn't know where you were back then and whatnot. But it does suck when there are big disadvantages. However, I think thinking and waddling on those disadvantages doesn't necessarily make those dreams come true. Usually around 24 is hitting too late to go pro, but you can still, if you can push yourself harder. I mean, nowadays, at least, well, Penguin has already revealed that wherever he is or she is or wherever they are, they don't take the branches of gaming, right? Gaming seriously. However, I don't think Penguin's talking about gaming at 24. The Penguin only mentioned this time they want to make content that's beneficial. You've coached and competed, so have I. Well before it was gaming was important anywhere as well. So I don't know how long it It was when Penguin's 14, so that's what is that? 8 years ago? 9 years ago. 9 years ago. There was maybe one organization big enough when I was into competitive gaming. And, you know, it still could have worked out, I suppose. But yes, instead I paid for college. I decided to pay for college. So there you are. Well, I hope you find the content that makes it beneficial. I'm not sure how you know what content is beneficial. Have you asked yourself how you know if making certain content is beneficial?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. If one sticks to it and never stops, it is possible. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I'm trying to think if I don't give an impression I did not intend. If you stick with, well, yeah. If one keeps an open mind in how to apply things, probably not like stick to the thing that you're at a disadvantage. You know what I mean? You stopped, you wanted to pursue something. I guess it's part of growing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got that, right? Penguin, you're working on that now, hopefully. Something that's meaningful. Or like even more meaningful to you.
就
Yo.
瓜 雪 如 伞
And then you want to make content about that? That would be great. And then you can share your story about a chance at professional gaming. That story can be something, you know? It in itself could be beneficial over time. At least I think. Or that's how I would go about it. Not that people go about it like I do most of the time. Yeah, constantly, though I never found that same feeling when you are outplaying everyone in the game. This is gonna sound really, really reductive, but also funny. I don't want to take people. I hope no one takes this offensively. But the most successful people spend most of the time outplaying everyone in the game of life. So I don't think there's anything more satisfying than outplaying people's lives. Perhaps that's a mindset you might want to, you may consider as a fuel. Like if you're consistently happier than someone else, I think you're outplaying a lot of people. At least that's how I view it. Now here's the scoop though. If you're outplaying everyone, you can turn it into a win-win. You can turn it into a win-win by helping them be happy too. Then you're not even outplaying everyone. You have no one to compete against you. At least that's my opinion. That's how I see it. If you are hardcore outplaying life so hard that the thing that gives you satisfaction is that by getting everyone to play along with you, that is something to be admired. At least in a bigger stroke thing. However, obviously I'm blowing smoke. It can be seen as blowing smoke. So let's reel it back and talk about hopefully you have something that you want to do now. Are you not doing something already that doesn't involve content creation, Penguin?
冷
You don't have to answer if it's too personal.
冷
冷 冷
鞋子
鞋子
裤子头发
饿
阴晴雨伞带
Which crashed on you? Okay, you didn't miss much, Cozy. If you cannot come, you must tell us. Okay. 如果你不来
来来
哦不可能来不 no 不可能不能
来
来就一定告诉我们呢Oh, what? Wait.
一定要告诉我们
No Joe, really? Huh. Not really. You pursued university and afterwards here I'm pushing for data analytics. Yeah, you mentioned data analytics. There's still a lot for you to think about objective wise. Okay, objective. Interesting. Is there anything that gets you excited to get out of bed early? Everything. Yeah, okay, alright. I'm being reductive here. Every day is an opportunity to better myself, so as long as I breathe, I get out of bed. But too many people want to go pro in a casual scene or game nowadays. Stuff don't make sense, I suppose. I'm not sure if that's where if that's where Penguin's headspace is. I don't think going professional, in my opinion, using the word pro and casual, elicits the same meaning, for myself, whether it's gaming or not. I think in general, many people, especially at an incredibly young age, do not understand what that means yet. However, they could learn by gaining that experience, I suppose. By getting that experience. Like, it's an opportunity, nevertheless. Opportunities are opportunities, so highly encouraging. The spark of this conversation is that Penguin missed or wasn't able to have an opportunity, and that creates a point of like a life's event, right? And that's understandable. Yeah, like I could have for example, I could have end up pursuing software engineering. That wasn't a path I decided to choose. Oh yeah, there's Penguin. Yeah, Penguin's on Twitch now. That Penguin. Yeah, even in a comp scene, players still are playing casually. Yeah, so I get up early on the prospect of if there's anything I can do in a day, I will tend to have found something to better myself today. That's it. Now, do I aim for just that? No, I'm greedy as all heck. The thing that really gets my fire steeping is the possibility of impacting someone else in a positive way. So I don't get up for myself anymore because I don't really need, like, at minimally I have myself to get out of bed, but generally speaking that's not why I put in on self improvement. I'm self-improving for a reason, not necessarily for my own satisfaction. I don't think I'm not that old, but I'm also not that young of mind. My self-improvement is for the betterment of someone that I want to care for in the future, not myself. I'm fairly comfortable, healthy enough, well-educated enough, and being resourceful enough. So now I want to live for someone else. I don't have children, Penguin, but it would be nice to have the idea of starting a family. So every day I continue to self-improve for any people that I interact with. It's a constant thing to try to keep doing better for other people, until maybe one day that's an opportunity. So until then, I won't stop trying to get out of bed and benefit, and improve myself for that day. That's kind of how that works, at least in my opinion. So living for myself, I'm actually quite content. So when you asked me that question about like what happens yesterday, or I think 2 days ago, you asked me what happens if I find out that I have one day to live. I would make sure that whatever I had is distributed, the boring stuff, distributed among the people I know, and then I wouldn't be too upset. Because earnestly, I get out of bed for the idea of living with other people, not living for myself. It's kind of I don't know when this happened. It might have happened sometime like 5 or 6 years ago, when I found that life is like, it's kind of fun, like collecting, boosting your own reputation or credibility, or putting more notches in your complete pile or something like that, or creating a bucket list even. But I don't think there's a bucket list big enough to hold the possibility of touching people's souls and hearts. So after focusing on teaching for so long and seeing kids in and out and day in and day out, that's pretty much non-negotiable. Like there isn't many things that can hold a candle, for me personally, that can hold a candle to seeing someone smile because of something you were able to do. There's nothing close to that. You get out of bed for 1 million, not a penny less. I get up if someone I know needs help. I don't mind sleeping in bed and not getting up. It's not a negative source. So here's the thing, right? Penguin, you asked me a very interesting question. You asked me, is there something that gets you excited to get out of bed early? Yes, there is. However, I also want to add that staying in bed is not negative as well, Penguin. As a person who has an urgency to want to achieve things and want things for themselves, staying in bed too long can be a very negative thing. I think of it for myself as, if I stay in bed, it means that I could use the extra rest or something like that. The bed hasn't ever been a place anymore. It used to be, sort of. When I was younger, the bed was like the worst place in the world. Like I didn't want to sleep. Like sleeping is not part of living, right? When you sleep, you're wasting time. So between around your age and younger, from like 18 and on to like 30, sleeping was like the devil. It was a waste of time. Actually, eating was a waste of time when I was that age. So when it came to like competitiveness or something, if you will, I didn't really think of it as competitiveness. I think of it more as, if I'm constantly better than yesterday, how much farther can I push each day to get even better? And my competition's myself. And that sounds a little arrogant, but I wasn't concerned about other people's competition, because the biggest competition I have is myself. And that's not in the sense of I knew what my competition was. The idea was that whatever I'm competing with, I have a non-compete with everyone else. Like, certainly there are people who are going to compare and pick apart the things they're either good or better than you, or worse and better than you. But you yourself can no longer be competed if you have so many things going on. So to this day, that manifests into what I am now, which when someone tells me how great job they're doing and all that stuff, I'm happy for them. In no way could they say they're better than me in any way, and I would be like shocked or impressed. The most impressive thing you can do when you're speaking to me is understand how you're going to wake up each day, improve yourself, enjoy improving yourself, and being sustainably proud of what you can do, as opposed to waking up and telling yourself you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, because things were like this and things were like that. And that is where I better myself every day to counteract. When I get someone that tells me that, you know, like someone that I know personally, they get up and say like, oh, you know, I would do this if only I had this. I'm like, let's go get it. There's no excuse for that. Like, you don't have it, let's go get it. Let's work on a plan to get it, because you need to remove that excuse. The more those excuses pile up, the more likely that both of us, you know, I know you, you know me, we got to get it done at some point. If I'm specifically talking about like friends, right? People who I come to rely and trust, and they come to rely and trust on me. So if it's their problem, it's both our problems. That's how it goes, right? So if you see a problem, fix the problem, or you try to change the problem or the context of the problem. If both of you fail, right, then we recruit a third person, a fourth person. And when there are no problems, basically everyone's doing their thing, things are going well, you motivate yourself to better yourself, so that when problems come up, you're prepared, or you're ready to tackle it. It doesn't mean you can prevent it from happening. If you're preventing from happening, you're never going to be like prepared for future problems. You're going to be emotionally and resourcefully ready to solve those problems if you're constantly setting yourself right. So that's kind of what I want to say. I think competing against yourself is a good mindset to have, especially when you get older. The older you get, the more and more dissonant it's going to be to compare one and another person, right? So like the longer you live, the more and more astronomically unlikely that you can comprehensively compare yourself with another person, right? So as you're getting older, the idea is, how do you create opportunity? In my opinion, this is my opinion, not professional advice or living circumstances. I want to make sure if you're having problems, you probably want to go seek like a life coach or a certified professional. My thought is that you are accumulating experience. The older you get, the more you can leverage all your cumulative experience. So if you wanted to create something beneficial, right? A lot of times people like Penguin talked about thinking about doing something beneficial. The most beneficial thing is to encapsulate how you can create more experience while also creating a unique experience that's an expression of yourself. So what does that look like? No one's gonna have the answer other than you. And that's kind of what I do on stream now. It's actually, as much as I consider the welfare and the kindness that people give me advice, it's not going to look like the way they're going to tell me. It's not possible. I have more than enough experience over 37 years of life. In fact, my life, because of the way, you know, Asian Americans grow up and stuff, it's got double the volume of a lot of people who live under a single cultural mindset. So with that, I leverage most of those. If you want to talk about tendential, like Asian culture displaced onto a westernized culture, I'm there. If you only want to talk about how cool Japan is or China is, I'm there. But the idea is you're able to leverage most of these experiences. So I don't think being a professional gamer is out of the question, provided in a context that doesn't actually necessarily have to involve competing directly. However, with that said, it would be very disingenuous to say that I know how to do that right now, because I have no aspirations to be a professional in gaming, as opposed to the phrase professional gamer. I think that phrase professional gamer is too restrictive. So being a professional in gaming can appear like many things nowadays, and that can still allow you to leverage your love for video games while also seeking to be a professional in some way that's sustainable. What does that look like? I have no idea. However, I think with a person who's able to do that, there might be a way. And I not enjoy my sleep in my bed in nature. Just worry about making yourself a better you than you were yesterday, rather than comparing. As one gets older, that's pretty much the sentiment. Worry about making yourself a better you than you were yesterday. Especially if you're getting older and older, because it's astronomically, statistically unlikely that if you make yourself better, a better you, it's the most accurate reflection of comparison. Maybe when you were like 7 or, you know, before 18, or maybe before puberty or adolescence, you might be able to compare kids' progress back to back. But adult progress, boy, that's a can of worms. As you're growing older, the can of worms get bigger and bigger. It becomes more and more unrealistic unless you have this disproportionate value of a part of someone. And that tends to involve coveting, desire, envy, jealousy, pride. So do I covet that people can learn Japanese in 1 year? No, I don't. I know that I've learned Japanese today. That's sufficient. Like, they can give you advice, right? I can take advice. I'll use that advice to my advantage. I'm not going to use my advice because of someone's result. Like, exclusively because of someone's result. So when someone peddles numbers and stuff, the answer is, that sounds like good numbers. Now, when I have time, I'll use it and see what my numbers are. Because I'm old and I don't reckon whatever you're doing, we're alike that much that that's going to happen, right? Unless it's like physical challenges where, like, if I can't bench 180 now, I can't bench 180 tomorrow by looking at weights, right? That's fair game. when it comes to intellectual fulfillment, right? Satisfaction, intellectual creation, like content creation and whatnot. I'll quote several YouTubers. You take the inspiration, you take other people's ideas or get inspired by people's ideas, but you make it your own. Otherwise, you are actually competing with someone. And that is playing by the people's game. So like if you are a content creator and your goal is to trend chase, the cap is the trend you're chasing. You yourself will be comparable to that trend. The question is, can you change your mindset? I don't chase trends. I know about trends. I take those trends, and if they ever overlap with my interests, then they can help boost. It's an advantage. It's an extra advantage, like resources for gaming. You can start, you know, that's why I asked kind of why you stopped at the age of 14. Like, did you have to be a pro gamer then, or work towards another route to be a pro gamer after? That's kind of the thing that, unfortunately, in my opinion, it does take other people around you to inspire you to do that. And maybe that was not an option. I certainly wouldn't have been someone that would easily ask you to dismiss your situation. Like, it's a one could have started like a FundMe, or I actually, did that even exist back then? Yeah, I think it exists back then. Okay, those, okay, quick. Future is unknown, so make it fun while you can. But can those who need that kind of help have the resources to access it? We won't know. We won't know. However, if you do nothing, if you leave it, then it's absolute certainty. So much like Cozy's Echo, the future is unknown. If you stop doing it, then the future is certain. I know how that sounds, and some people say, but what if you spent your whole life chasing a dream that's unachievable? Does that sound so bad? Well, to some people it's like, well, yeah, because you'll always be a failure and whatnot. It's like, well, I certainly chased a dream that I didn't succeed pursuing. So, and when I say failure, it doesn't hurt, because everything I've done up to this point led to this point. So it is a philosophical point. It is definitely a philosophical point. I don't typically look at the end or the dead end as something that doesn't have a way out. Hear me out here. I've met plenty of people who make an incredibly cogent argument, and it's an impasse that convince me that they believe that there are dead ends in life. So they choose to make all their decisions based on not hitting a dead end. So like that could be professional gaming. You have so much disadvantages that if you go down that road, you will hit a dead end. If I continue to use Japanese to learn Duolingo, if I keep using Duolingo to learn Japanese, then it will be a dead end. That's the people, and those are fair points. If I kept using Duolingo only, yes, it would eventually end. Well, sort of. Even then, it's kind of hard to justify that thing. But that's the mindset I'm being a contrarian to, not refuting as a viable option. You can most definitely negotiate both perspectives as you're applying to the nature or, you know, the circumstances, the it depends thing. Both of these perspectives and more are valid ways of weighing different types of decision making. The duality that I'm talking about is the one that is far more common nowadays. Like, oh, you're doing it the wrong way, so you'll never be able to make meaning out of it. Like, well, I guess my thought was, in a very, very blunt, memey way, I don't drink beer, but I would probably grab a cup of beer and I would give the person and say, hold my beer. And see what happens. Let me know and come back in 2 or 3 years and I'll tell you how Duolingo impacted my language learning. Whether you choose to accept that it did anything is definitely up to the eye of the beholder. Exactly, playing hardcore mode versus going to a LAN and beating the best. You can recognize there are faster ways to learn, but it doesn't necessarily mean it aligns with how you want to learn. Yep. Like people telling you what to do or telling you things that are not right, but they think it's right. And if you didn't go ahead then it wasn't for you at the time. Yeah, your future is still going to change and fill with possibilities. Duolingo will only teach you so much. You probably already recognized that early on. Some people may have the impression that it will take you to a higher level. Well, some people, and not particular people, like it's to me the large significance is expectations based on the mindset that was set the very beginning of this conversation. And that's the idea that you become identified by the tools that you are dependent on. Once again, have you ever been addicted to anything? What are your thoughts on addiction overall? I have been addicted to many things. I talked about this before. What is addiction? Well, when addiction is sustainable, it's called a habit, or I call it a habit. When the addiction is non-sustainable, then that's actually what an addiction is. Like, the difference is that I have a lot of habits. So I have a lot of habits. They are sustainable. So when you ask if I had any addictions to anything, I have a lot of addictions. They're all sustainable. So most people don't see them as addictions. Like, what do I have an addiction to? Learning. Every single day I pick up something and I learn something. I don't take a break from learning. Not a single day do I take a break from learning. That is an addiction. However, I call it a habit because it's sustainable. There's no, like, it's different from something that is non-sustainable, like alcohol abuse, possibly gaming, possibly sleeping too long in bed and neglecting your food intake, or having an eating disorder. An eating disorder is an addiction, is a habit and a compulsion due to the thought of, what about bad addiction? Addiction is bad, in my opinion. So you're only referring to bad things. And I'm offering a counterexample when things are good. My addiction is that I run in the morning every day. My day feels a little off when I don't go running in the morning. Addictions do make you feel bad when you can't do them. So maybe one day, if I can't run anymore, like I got too old, right? I can't run anymore, then I would go through withdrawal. And what do I do about that? Quote unquote bad. Then a habit turns into a addiction, like a bad addiction, right? Something that's bad. I changed the game. So this is usually where I spend like 3 or 4 hours talking about how to recondition a new habit in place of it. So if I can't run, then I'll walk. If I can't walk, then I'll sit and vigorously move. If I can't sit and vigorously move, I'm probably dead. So there is an endpoint. Well, you know, like if I'm crawling, then there's a high chance if I've lost the probably close to death. I can flail my hands around, but the idea is that you can spend a lifetime. You can spend a lifetime curbing your addiction into habits, and those habits. I don't use the word addiction because those habits that you form are sustainable. What is a great sustainable habit that I have? Well, I have a bleeding heart, right? I have a bleeding heart, and that was a problem originally. You might be thinking, what is so wrong with a bleeding heart? Well, I neglected my own health. Right? It wasn't sustainable. If you have a bleeding heart, you always place other people ahead of you. Even when you can't. Even when you are unable to. That is non-sustainable. That's a poor habit. Many come in the form of yes man. The yes man. Sorry, that's a little old hat, but the yes person. Where a person says yes to everything. That's an addiction. As in, you're so addicted to just telling people yes and doing everything. It makes you feel really good. However, you can't keep doing it forever. Because eventually, your health and your mental state is going to go into the poop chute. So technically, that is an addiction because you feel good even though it's taking you out. And I had a problem with that. So I need to get my priorities straight. Like, for example, what's an example of a yes man? They lack self-love. They don't ever take care of themselves. Like, the reason why I'm saying this is I can't tell you how much of a problem this is with people around me. Like me and my friends and best friends, we have problems with that. It is very terrible. Like the idea that it makes sense to, you know, drive 6 hours to help someone move furniture and then drive 6 hours back only to meet your friends, right? Only to meet your friends again. That stuff will get you sleep deprived, driving off the road by accident, you know, pushing your limits. So this is like a situation that I wanted to use because I feel like not a lot of people relate to this, so that's fine. It's not as like crazy. It doesn't cut too deep. Okay? This cuts deep for me, but I like to use the stories from my life as a example, right? If it's unrelatable, that's perfectly fine. It goes back to my point about you can use your stories as a way to provide context, but also some unique, but not right. So to me, if you're asking, what have I been addicted to? Have I been addicted to something like alcohol? Life is a drug, Penguin. I've been addicted to performance. Like, I've been obsessed about grades before. Obsession is a form of addiction. So I've been obsessed with grades. It legitimately destroyed my mental health. There are plenty of very, very deadly, like silent but deadly addictions. And we can't really talk about these too much because also YouTube. We have to be careful about YouTube. These things can be so detrimental that it may make it easier, right? It can make it easier to do the unthinkable. So let's not mention those things because we want to be very appropriate here. So yes, I have been addicted to many things that were not sustainable. Many things that were not sustainable. The idea is, though, there are ways to work around them, provided you don't give up and or be nihilistic or end up being fatalist or something, where you feel like your future is set in stone, and if you can't have certain things, then there's no things left for you to have. I'm like, yeah, sure. That can be tough. It's not my place to help you in that regards. A professional is definitely highly recommended. Having a drug addiction is so bad if you don't have a supportive family. Yeah, no support system. You need self-love and self-loathe. It's very important. Yeah, a balance of both, obviously. Such as what? I've already named a couple of them. Those are real examples. Yeah, those are real examples. Very real examples, regardless of how much other people may tell you it's not important at the time. Oh, what ways did I incorporate it? Well, my grades. So when I think about grades, right? The whole thing about bettering yourself, right? Bettering yourself. And comparing yourself to your yester self, right? Comparing to yourself previously. That's usually it's not a coincidence. It's not a big coincidence that eventually, after a certain amount of maturity, I suppose, like age, it doesn't necessarily have to be a literal age, but oftentimes maturity comes with a grasp of how to compare yourself to better yourself, right? Grades, if you had bad grades, for example, do you have better grades now? Certainly you're not the same person anymore, so that's good. You're not the same person anymore. So how are you different? Right? All these things create a perspective that isn't warped. Like, if you're 30 now, like for example, I'm 37, and I see a 18-year-old do something that I couldn't ever imagine doing. Good for them. Good for them. I can be happy knowing that there's an 18-year-old doing that. Not, oh, if I were 18, I could do this. Like, I'm not concerned about that anymore. That's one of the bigger things, in my opinion. This is probably one of the bigger things that kind of, I would say, top 5 as one gets older, that will supersede lots of other addictions or potential addictions, like seeking performance enhancement. I'm not talking about physical performance. I'm talking about anything. Seeking performance enhancements. Getting edges, right? Cheating, for example. There are many things that this type of situation, this is understanding, given that you're growing older. So Yeah, I know. When I said performance enhancers, I legitimately, I'm pretty sure lots of people immediately goes to like gym steroids, which, by the way, it's a very big growing problem due to content creation. So, like, it's no joke as well, because performance enhancement has become popularized to the extent that you can have impressionable pre-adolescents engaging in something that they haven't had enough experience to determine if they're willing to take the consequences. So it is a very real thing, although I didn't want to be literal about it. It's a mental state. You can be too into getting a certain grade. That can be toxic, that you can get a different grade. Yeah, lots of things. This is a very serious topic, and it probably can go for a very long time. I think the thing I want to emphasize, like a take-home message or something, is the most beneficial things, right? When you're asking, most beneficial. I don't like using the word benefit most, so I'm putting it in quotes. The likely things that are beneficial require that you are able to understand what is valuable to you already. You are able to know what's valuable to you, and then be able to get that or work towards that on the work of others, or like from the inspiration of others. In my opinion, this is an important point, because you first know what you're able to identify that's valuable to you prior to going to other people's work. The difference in this arrangement is that if you look for what's important for other people first, without a self-awareness for your own value, they define what's important for you. That can work if you're younger. If you were a kid, that's unrealistic that you would somehow magically have experience, right? So as a kid, yes, a lot of things are very comparable. There are expectations placed on kids. Kids require exposure in order to get the experience to determine that. As you grow older, you got to know what's valuable to you. The idea is hopefully your childhood experience gave you enough exposure and balance of guidance and exposure that it allows you to build on that exposure, right? That's why being a great parent, having great parents, that this is so important, right? Having great parents. I mean, that's the whole idea of becoming a parent, at least in my opinion. Unfortunately, that's not a luxury, right? Or having a supportive family, like even an extended family, right? That's like the gold standard. Where are you going to get random experience that you can't possibly have? Now, in your older age, you gotta ask yourself, what do you value most? Those are the things that will determine what is beneficial. Those beneficial things determine if something is an addiction or will become a habit for a lifetime. My habit is that I talk about these things all the time. Is that sustainable? I think it's sustainable for now. I think it's cutting into my language learning a little bit too much, but I think language learning it's okay. No worries, right? So I talk about these things all the time. How do you form a new habit? How do you associate how do you kick? Oh, okay. I can answer one question. I'll try my best, but this is not professional help. How do you get out of an addiction, right? How do you convert an addiction? For example, convert an addiction into a habit. Lots of times when I talk to my personal friends or other people, one would determine what part is unsustainable, right? What is unsustainable about it? And you address that. There's no answer to that. You don't know what the addiction is. You have to identify the addiction, find what part is non-sustainable. And if you can address that, then it becomes a habit and you get to keep it. If the addiction is irreparable, right? Irreparable. I don't know how to spell irreparable, but we're gonna go with this. Like an alcohol addiction. A lot of times people would use something like a fancy phrase like substitution, or like a addiction displacement. So you take what you have, what it already works, habits, and you use it to supplant the addiction with a new habit. So one popular way, which is a way I encourage my personal friends to do it. Actually, I don't encourage them to do it. I encourage myself to do the thing with them. Is how I would go about it. Obviously, again, not medical advice or anything. I don't have clients. I'm not a certified person. If say someone needs to walk more steps, right? They have low mobility. How about a wine connoisseur addiction? Hold on to that thought. So let's say someone has low mobility. They need to get up and walk, right? We like comic books. We like comic books. I check for a nearby comic book store. Is it a walking distance? The habit is comic books. That's so far as sustainable to both of us. Or I don't go to comic book stores. However, the person that I know might go to comic book stores, right? Go to comic book stores. So I will join them in creating a new habit of walking with an existing habit they have. So now this habit can be very, very strong enough that it would cause them to walk because they have an addiction to, like, I don't know, not walking, I suppose. Not like they have a poor habit of not getting enough, like they're trying to combat a different type, like their health is declining or something. Like something they're doing is, well, you can stack positive habit formation with something you already know. So when someone asks me, for example, language learning is a great one. Let's make it relevant to language learning. Let's be open to language learning, right? Everyone has an addiction to walking. Here's a language learning one. When someone asks me for advice and I don't know the stranger at all, right? I don't know the stranger. Drake was here probably. You start with what works. And I'm secretly, or I'm more directly asking, what are your current habits with studying? What are your current habits with learning? If you're having trouble with language, let's ask, what are you currently doing with learning? Use that learning habit that you have, couple it, make the things that you are strongly already have in place, they're practically low effort at this point, reinforce something else. So how did I start with Duolingo? I start blank. Like, I did the thing. There were things that were missing. So let's go form a new habit. What's the new habit? Recall before a lesson. What's the new habit? Review at the end of a lesson. break up the lesson so it's constantly iterating. So my habit is no longer use Duolingo only. I don't only use Duolingo, but it started with only Duolingo. The idea is I'm not a person who sits there and waits for a tool to provide everything. That it goes back to the very first step. Like, if your mindset is that you expect that a singular tool and a singular opportunity is your only route to success, then yeah, I totally agree why you would come at me and tell me that Duolingo sucks. Like, if you believe that, that would be a natural conclusion. Duolingo can't get you where you want to be if your expectation is that. So that's bitterness. That's the thing that I was talking about. I feel bitterness when people come at me, when whatever they said was almost fundamentally not true about me. It's a projection of their bitterness. Can you be very open about your addiction? I would be careful, Penguin. I feel like this is something you might want to share with people who are very close with you. If you want, if it's appropriate, right? Is it appropriate here? I mean, we can talk about it in an indirect way, but I think the most important thing is to find people you have a support system with, right? Like, I highly encourage that you go to your loved ones or people who know you a lot better, or a professional. Show me you're an academic without telling me you're an academic. Drawing on the screen. Oh yeah. Oh there, Arlo. I do need to complete this lesson, but definitely feel free. I mean, you can always DM me if you want, Penguin. I do have a Discord. There might be other people who are encouraging, but be careful. Like, I'm a stranger on the internet, for all you know, right? Like, this is the perfect storm side of the situation. Finding a loved one or someone in your support system is probably the most safest. Yeah, you haven't. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to think that you have tried everything. I totally understand. Like, it's part of like the symptom of being in a state like that. So find friends, family, change your environment, encourage them to help, try to get you to change your environment. Then it wouldn't be everything anymore, right? Anybody outside of yourself is not everything. Nah, I don't care. I need to focus on it. So if you're talking about help, so be it. Okay, I see. I'm not sure how that works with your thing. Yeah, hello there, Arlo. Yes, I write on the screen quite a lot. By the way, Arlo, do you draw at all? That's my next squeeze these. You don't care about people's judgment? Then why is it important to hear my opinion? Or anyone's opinion? You need to improve and get over it. That is certainly one way to go about it. You don't draw on stream? Do you draw it in general, Arlo? That's one way to go about it, Penguin. So here's my thought to you. I wanna make sure we're on the same page here. If you just said you don't care about other people's judgment, right? Let me. I want to emphasize something. This is very important. I don't care about people's judgment. Then there isn't any advice in the world that can help you. you don't care about people's judgment. Advice is predicated on other people's judgment. Like the negative feedback? Okay, so you're saying you don't care for negative feedback. I can, that's acceptable. That makes it okay. That if you don't care about negative feedback, that is something to work with. That means that if someone is able to give you the proper positive feedback, it can help, right? Now here's my thought. That includes everyone. It doesn't depend. We're not talking about dependency. We're not talking about like the worst case scenario. We're talking about everyone has the capacity to give you positive feedback and negative feedback. So who are the people in your life that can give you positive feedback? Like, I would probably encourage you to ask yourself, who can give you positive feedback? I can't possibly give you, I would definitely be uncomfortable giving you feedback because I don't know you very well, right? Like, you'd be incredibly mature about this. I'm not that old because Arlo's here now. Arlo's gonna call me a fetus. I'm old enough to know that there's no amount of feedback that I can give you that can be as helpful as someone you know. Yeah, freaking Arlo called me a fetus. Arlo is a senior here now. So, I think sitting down, if you can find someone who can give you positive feedback, then you answered yourself that you're not interested in negative feedback. You know, when people look at you as a weirdo for having addiction and judge you, that's what I mean by negative feedback judgment. Well, judgment is required. Like, I find it very hard to, like, it's tough for me to understand this, but you can't, it's hard to get feedback without judgment. So you're saying you want to find someone who doesn't judge you based on your addiction, who doesn't judge you on your addiction, or doesn't look at you weird, right? Do you have someone like that? Do you have someone who doesn't think you're weird? That's the person. Go hang out with them. Ask them, hey, can we do something that I can't think of? At least in my opinion. This is not professional advice. Again, I want to be careful about this. That person might be able to give you ideas that isn't your everything. If you know what I mean. Like, your everything is not everyone's everything. So when you say you have tried everything, you have tried everything you know. You know, funny enough, you live alone. Find someone. Right? Like, if you, like, ask them, maybe hang out or stay over for like a day or two. Your friend lives out, like, visit a day or two or something, right? Or Skype or Zoom or whatever kids do these days. Discord chat. Share something, in my opinion, because anyone outside of yourself includes more things than you can possibly know. So if you are telling me now that you have tried everything, it means if I believe you, right? I do. It might feel like you've tried everything. Well, everything you know doesn't mean you know everything everyone else knows. So at least logically, that if you have a friend who lives far away, again, there are tools to circumvent that. Getting ideas from your friend instead of a stranger like me, right? Like, I'm very flattered that the first comment of all this conversation was that you're inspired to stream and make content again because maybe I did something. I don't really know what it is. However, your friend is probably an even better source. Like, it's a safer source, it's a private source, and your friend knows you better than me. Like, because largely this is a parasocial relationship outside of our 1 or 2 discussion days, right? So the most responsible thing I can definitely say is you had all the answers yourself. Like, I'm using all your answers to get at something that's reasonable for you. You don't want negative feedback, right? That's based on judgment on your weirdo, like your addiction side. So you're looking for someone who's offering positive feedback that doesn't judge you based on your addiction. And they have the capacity to share ideas that you haven't considered. That's a change of environment. Not literally, but figuratively. Like, if you enter a Discord chat, like, you say, hey, can we chat for a moment every Friday for an hour while hitting up some FPS? That is still a change of environment. It's not the most ideal change of environment because a lot of people would say, oh, literally get out of the environment. That's more, that's extra. However, it's still a mental change. You are breaking the cycle that is the addiction. One cannot snap with an addiction or create new things if they believe they tried everything. So if you believe you tried everything you've done, one cannot change and create things, which then you can't modify your addictions to maybe be beneficial, like a habit. So your source is other people. At least you hope is other people. And I like to believe that's true. That's what therapists do, right? Like, if you go to a therapist, their ideas are they ask you questions. You have all the answers. So they find the most reasonable way to synthesize as much of the information you have provided, right? That's why they encourage you to express, keep saying things. Eventually you'll say enough details that they'll offer you a solution or like a suggestion that you're like, I can do this. I can do it. And the rest is history. Because they naturally, you and yourself as a person will then have this working solution and you continue to build upon it. This is basically stolen from all this stuff that I'm saying is some fundamental stuff that you'll probably end up going and experiencing if you were to seek a professional, right? A licensed professional. Or maybe you could even do a social experiment with the person you trust most that provides that stimulus. I can almost guarantee it's not me. If it is me and that's the truth, I'd probably say go seek a therapist. Because there's nobody more qualified as a stranger who has objective experience to solve this problem that the therapist, because they have actual experience, right? I'm not that person. And even if I had a license, this would be in an inappropriate place to do such a thing. So I would still defer you to your most accessible therapist. If you can, if it's available for you. If not, friends, right? And I don't think I've met someone who... Okay, I've met a few people. After a while of talking, though, they did find someone that is far more appropriate. Because you lived a whole life, right? You gotta remember, you're 23 years old. We know each other for like 3 days in the last week. There's no astronomically improbable ways of me having any sort of feedback or something as serious as potential self-loathing due to some addiction problem and finding like self-worth in whatever you do. So definitely, hopefully that gets you somewhere. You're getting training as a life coach after the degree you're doing currently? Well, good for you, Cozy. I can't wait to hear more about all the things you do with the life coaching. I thought about it too. Getting a certificate. It takes, for me, it was going to take me, it was like 3 or 4 months. Where I am, like with all the things that you have to do, like the licensing and stuff. But I haven't really done it. And I do not have the urge to do so, or like motivation to do so. I think this medium is pretty okay to encourage other people to seek other people. I like the diffusion of responsibility. Sorry, this is avoidant behavior. I know. I'm being in avoidant behavior. I'm practicing an avoidant behavior, but diffusion of responsibility. If I know someone who can do a better job than me, I sure as heck will be keeping notes. That's what I do. I think it's the generalist's goal, at least for me. I consider myself a generalist in life in general. My skills are only foundational, right? My skills are foundational. So it's enough to get someone, like identify a reliable person and then putting them into contact. Yeah, Penguin. I hope you find someone and go for it. It'll change your life, you know? And then come back and tell me how well your life has changed. That's probably the most satisfying thing. You know, in another 3 years, if you disappear for 6 months, I'm gonna take it as a great measure that you're basically hitting it, you know, hitting the ground running. At least. No pressure. I chose an arbitrary number also, so don't concern yourself about 6 months. It could be like 5 years. It could be a lifetime. Yes. Oh yeah, that's true. Yes, definitely call and text 9. Yeah, if you're in the US. It's not, yeah. It's a safe space, I think. Yeah. I'm getting my panic. Your panic healing is a bridge language? Oh, I see. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna get our lesson completed. How are you doing, Arlo? We said a lot as well, Penguin. So, sleep, rest. Take it, you know, take it a step at a time. That's probably breathe, right? Breathe.
头发
头发
里面
Alright, so Arlo, wait, did you answer if you draw at all? Did I derail you? Oh, not really, but you hand letter. Really, Arlo? You're gonna pull a fossil reference on me? Trying to reinforce my fetus status. Hand letter? Dang, Arlo. That's really classy. That's super classy. Honestly, that's a great idea. I'm debating if I should do Inktober. That's kind of where I was alluding to. Arlo. Like, do every other day, or do like one every 3 days, or pick your favorite prompt of the day. No pressure. I'm just curious because, you know, that sounds like a fun activity to share. You're gonna go all in. Whoa. You'll do all 31? Which prompt am I following? I'm following the base one. The Inktober one. Inktober 2024. So 31 prompts each year. Each year, every year. Since the last 3 years. I will be missing in action for 3 days, so I have to make up 3 days because of a wedding. But we got the second prompt done today. Yeah, join the crew. One of us. So fetus, we digress from Japanese. I know fetus. It's the first time I've ever been called a fetus. Arlo has left a tremendous impression. So I don't think I've ever been called a fetus, but just take pictures and schedule posts. Oh, for photography. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it.
鞋子
I don't like even people who are older than me for a while, like 10 to like a decade older than me, haven't ever called me someone who is potentially a fetus or young or inexperienced. So it's been a very long time. I don't remember the last time someone said that, implied that I was inexperienced. It's a good thing. It's a very humbling thing. It's also the funniest, in my opinion, in the last like 10 years. It's probably the funniest thing I've ever. So I can't get over the moment. We can make a learning moment out of fetus. Wait, that's how you say fetus. It's a term of affection. A fetus? I don't know. I mean, I think it's funny. It's a story that I will carry for the rest of my life. If I can. I don't forget a lot of things. Arlo. So you're gonna be the fetus person. I mean, there are other things that left an impression, but fetus is certainly not. MAKU fetus new username. Oh boy. Is that how you say fetus? Why is there like a random stroke on? Really though? Really? Really? You mean, is there like a random stroke or am I having a stroke? Like, is there this random stroke here? What the heck? In the right character? Next to this. Right? Interesting. It's okay. It's the whole phrase. Like it also includes this ending. Interesting. What's the read on fetus? I'm learning today. Wow. I need to contextualize. Your eyes do not deceive you. Yeah, so Taiji is the reading. Oh, Taiji is the reading. Oh, Taiji. Okay, good. Taiji. And I totally read this. Oh, no, we're fine. Taiji. Interesting, Taiji. I'll try to remember that. Taiji. I hope I get to draw a fetus. No, that's weird. That's weird. It's not one of the prompts. Don't worry about it. I gotta put fetus in somewhere. I'm gonna sneak fetus into one of my prompts. Well then, you could just draw yourself. Wow. Drake. Wow, that was a low-hanging fruit. I'll show you a fetus. Right here.
衬衫。
今天是晴天，我们出去玩吧。
Next week, Duo brings up fetus. I swear, if it brings up fetus. Wait, what class is fetus on any of the JLPT lists? Drake, can you tell me if fetus is on one of the JLPT lists? And if it's it's got to be like N2 or N1, right? Like how common do you bring up fetus? Watch it be like N4. I'm like, if it's N4, then it can come up on Duo. If it's anything like beginning N3 and lower, it's probably gonna come up on Duo. Because they kinda try to do. Algorithm's gonna put fetus in my feed. It's going to. Just so you know, as a disclaimer, though, the best way that I get enriched and cultured based on what we talk about is both my smartphones are on always listening. So like when I go and eat dinner after my stream, I look at the feed. And then the feed feeds into my algorithm on my personal account. So most of the time I get cultured by what people talk about. So yes, indeed, Google is listening and always listening to me. So how do I leverage that? Well, I leverage it by making it do some work for me. And most of the time, not according to Jisho, for Daiji, it's a homophone for another Japanese word that's N1. Okay. Well, Duolingo is out of luck. There has been one N2 word that I encountered. Maybe 3 at most, N2. I don't think I've ever encountered an N by happenstance. Duo tries to stray away from that. No chance. Oof. Hopefully there's no like devs waiting to pounce on a lowly soul and like, you know, pranking me with fetus tomorrow. Yeah, let's share Inktober experiences together, Arlo. Yeah, I finished my prompt for backpack and discover today. So I finished the first 2 prompts. I would love to see what a non-fetus person would draw for these prompts. Especially, the theme is largely travel this year. Inktober, most of the prompts deal with traveling. So if there's anyone that has a very unique perspective on drawing prompts or photography and stuff on Inktober, it's probably someone who's not a fetus. Heck, you probably already have the photographs available. You know, you could collage as well. You could collage things together of all your years of photography. Oh man, there's just so many ways. Okay, sorry. Okay, 今天是晴天，我们出去玩吧。I told myself I'd be on like a strict schedule because the last 3 or 4 days I've derailed so hard that my fatigue is gathering on me. So my Japanese lessons, dual lessons, are like a disaster right now. We're gonna need, there's a chance we're gonna need a reset day or something to catch up on like sleep or something. Let's see. Today It um it was no. It's oh my gosh, heckin' contractions. It's sunny. Let's go up.
如果明天下雨，我们就不出去。
如果明天下雨，我们就不出去。如果明天下雨，我们就 wrong tone， 我们就不出去。
外面下着雨，你出去要带伞。
It goes down here from here. Yeah, I've been yesterday I told myself I'm pretty fatigued right now. It's like it's piling up a little. So I will make the appropriate scheduling and countermeasures because I also have to drive to the wedding in 8 days from now, and it's a long drive. It's like a 5-hour drive, so I have to make sure that I have my priorities. So we're going to be a little bit more frugal. It's my responsibility, obviously. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone except for the non-fetus. I'm kidding. I'm basically pointing at Sub-Zero, who's not here to defend himself. Sorry, Sub-Zero. He's probably still here, actually. He's probably still working on his Atari game. I don't know. Sub-Zero comes in and out. Like, it doesn't seem like he ever sleeps. You're listening, Arlo. Yeah, I don't know if Sub-Zero is listening. He comes in and out all the time. Like he legitimately doesn't sleep. I don't know how he functions. No. I think he's asleep now. At least I hope. Either then he might have gone to class. It's 7:36. Yeah, he might have gone to class actually. He either went to the gym or gone to class. This is yeah, it's 7:36 in the morning. It's a Thursday, so I imagine he has class on Thursday. 外面下着雨。你出去要带伞。Okay. This was great though. I love this conversation. These conversations. I know it's very serious, but earnestly, like, it sounds okay. All right. I was being truthful when I said I had a problem with being a yes person. However, because of how well, because of taking care of myself and having like other resources and stuff, I can do it now. So it's fine. And this is gonna sound weird, but one thing that hasn't changed about the habit, aka former addiction, is that I run towards people with problems. I constantly run towards problems, and not like a confrontation way. Like what I mean is, I make myself deliberately available. Not like we already talked about unsolicited advice. That's not the same thing. Like I make myself present. I always constantly spend the time making myself present, as in a reachable distance. And that's why it was unhealthy for a while, because I didn't have time for that. You can't possibly think that you sit there, make yourself available so that when people are need help, you're the person proximal to that. And that's incredibly unrealistic. So we had to do something about that. That's the very real example. Like when I was a teacher, it was cool because that's your job. Your job is to be available, right? However, even that becomes unsustainable if you spend every waking hour helping every potential, and you're not like thinking about how to micromanage your time and your lessons and the things you have to you're obligated to do. Then the ones that need help might certainly get a lot of help, but your job and stuff will fall apart. Management of schedules and stuff will fall apart. So that was cool, but it was a problem. It's a very big problem. Like sometimes I spent more time on other people's projects than my own project. And that was a that was a very, very terrible problem. So how do I ever get my projects done or things I have to do when everyone's sleeping? So then you ask, so when do you sleep? I don't. That was the problem. It's a very real thing. I don't think I missed that. Nowadays, I know that I'm tired. Back in the day, I know I was tired, but I didn't feel tired as long as I had things to do. And I always had things to do. And that was a problem. Oh, well, I can see it now as a problem. Now. Fetus don't sleep. Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah. It was terrible, but cool. Like, I was happy. I was very happy. That's what addiction is. That's what I mean by addiction. I was happy in the moment. It's not like I didn't I was blind to how much weight and how much like my physical being was suffering, right? Like when you're addicted to drugs and alcohol, you like that good feeling at the expense of anything that's happening to you physically. Your productivity, that's a problem. So that's what an addiction is. It's the separation between a habit and an addiction. One is sustainable and one is not. Even the greatest of things, like desirable things, become an addiction when it's a problem. Like liking too much of a good thing, that becomes a problem. It's a habit that turns into a problem. What does that look like? A hobby that turns into a job. And this hobby was your habit, sustainable habit, and that job turned it into an addiction. What does that addiction look like? You go to a job that you no longer like. And you keep telling yourself that it's for the high. You keep saying like, oh, I really hate this job. Everything about this job is killing my mental health. But you keep telling yourself, yes, it's a hobby. It used to be a habit. So therefore, I must keep feeding my addiction. Like, I must keep hating the thing that I used to love and continue doing it. As opposed to trying to improve it. Right? You're no longer actively improving it or changing it. Or thinking about it objectively anymore. Yes, but I need money. That's a great one. But I need money. I need the money, or at least I get paid. At least it puts food on the table, right? The thing is, these things doesn't change the circumstance, but I need the money. Can I do better? As in like, but I need money. However, can I be happier and do something happier? Like slowly work towards something that also provides money and fits your circumstance better. At least it's a paycheck. That's a consolation. That's saying that you're willing to settle for no change for the rest of your life, and you hope that it stays that way, as opposed to constantly trying to step up a little bit and change your circumstance. That this is passive living versus active living. And I certainly derailed really, really hard. So I would say my insight, or at least my stories and the stuff that I'm saying now, it's not because I was a genius and I avoided all of this. I actually experienced all of it. So that it's in retrospect. Do I want to feel glum and regretful about it? No, I use it as a way to be beneficial to myself and other people. I'm bored, but I don't want to change. Exactly. That's a big one. Ooh. Here's another one. Your hobby becomes so specialized that it is the only stimulus. It is the only stimulus sufficient to sustain you. And Penguin actually already illustrated this. He said that Penguin said that they like something else, or they know that they can do other things. And then the following statement is, it doesn't hit the same. Or it's not the quotation. It doesn't hit the same anymore. It doesn't feel the same as the hobby. Well, it can't be. It can't be the same. It's not the same. Now, the thing is, it doesn't feel better than the old. That's living in the past. This is the past. And that is a true addiction. That is an addiction. And it's an unreachable one, too. It's an unattainable one, according to the person. So not only is it an addiction that you can't help change or work towards to marry and adjust, it's one it's in the past. It's the one that's stuck in the past. What does that look like? That looks like alcohol abuse, like drugs. Like you're stuck in the past, right? One of the things that therapy works on is breaking the tether to the past. Change cannot be sought if you're chained down to the past. And it can start innocently by doom scrolling. That's why I totally understand the urgency of younger people, not adults. Like healthier adults may overcome and modify these addictions. They reveal, they can moderate, and it's still a stretch for where adults lie. However, kids, that's doom scrolling can set you up for an addiction that will tether you to something. So when that doom scrolling changes, it's going to cause withdrawal. What's a great withdrawal that's innocent? What's a great withdrawal that's innocent? You love Souls games. You love Souls-like. And then suddenly, one day, after 5 Souls games, Souls-like, every other game sucks. So here you have a situation. I'm talking about like real situations now that I've encountered, and anecdotally, as courteous as I can be, I hope those people find new things, encourage them to find new things. Because when you have something good and you consistently have that good thing, and then everything else becomes dull, that is a numbing effect. A numbing effect creates depression. That's chronic depression waiting to happen, in my opinion. Like personally, anecdotally, when everything else that you love about something bigger narrows it down to a single thing, I'm describing an addiction that came from something that's innocent, a hobby. Like, I'm trying my best not to be addicted to language learning, for example. Like, if I sacrifice everything that I'm doing now, everything that I like, video games and everything else, and I funnel all of it into language learning, that's abandoning all my lifestyles, all my habits. That addiction has consumed all my habits. So where does this take us for another digression? I know when I'm tired, like I'm really tired, like I'm pushing my limits. I know when to pull back, because as much as I want to go hammer, which lots of Twitch streamers do that, and content creators, go ham, go harder, go longer. Like we did 36-hour stream yesterday, let's do 56. Or YouTube, like, oh, I just spent $1 million doing a $3 million game show. Let's aim for 10 million tomorrow. That's the danger, and I totally understand the urgency for having carving and addressing potential warped perspective on unsustainable behavior, like non-sustainable behavior. If you keep thinking you're constantly going to top yourself in the same exact way, there's a cap. There's a sustainability problem. There's an upper limit. And when you spend all of the time cultivating for that, there's no plan B. There's no adapting. You don't adapt to anything. The moment your dream dies, or the one thing dies, it's dependent on people. Like, for example, people who like Souls games, right? It's dependent on people who make Souls games. You didn't go around exploring the idea of making a Souls game. That would be adapting. That would be taking your passion for a Souls game and reinvesting and thinking about a different way to engage with your hobby and stuff. That's generalizing. It's not specializing, not putting all your eggs in one basket. So whenever I encounter people who talk about language learning and their sole purpose is they say, oh, that's not going to help you get to fluency. Oh, I'm almost to fluency. Oh, have you considered talking to a fluent person? Like, oh, I'm still not away from fluent. That to me, I don't want to end up like that, in my opinion. Certainly, if they get to fluency, it'll be great and they'll have their goal and stuff. I deviate away from that because hyper-focusing and hyper-objectifying, I've seen enough of that. I don't want to relive, in my opinion, I don't want to relive the years when I said, oh, I lost a point on an exam, and that 1 point is the end of the world, because my world was painted by hyper-focusing on various things. Hyper-avoiding. Sorry. All right, we gotta... Oh, you just posted? Okay. Wait. Can I, where did you post it? Can I see? But after that, I'll definitely refocus on. No, I won't show it. Like, if you don't want me to show it, that's fine. On IG. Oh, okay. Like, I won't share. I just want to see it myself. Wait, is IG Instagram? You love a good D-Red. It happened way too long. Wait. Where do I go on here? Blog? Wait. You need to see mines too? I could show you my day one. I didn't upload my second one yet. Right here, let me do that. The file is too big. Wait. Hold up. Oh, okay. What's this? Day 2. Cover. I think I spent about 3. Okay. So, I can show you. This is my backpack. My backpack. This is my first prompt. Paku. And Beibao. Backpack. This is my first one. No problems here. This one was very comfy. We did a very comfy prompt, right? My theme for Inktober is I incorporate. I'm just lettering, very boring. Oh, well, that's fine. What you call it? That makes me want to do a letter. I'm just saying. What's boring to you is something I haven't ever done. In like, I don't think I've ever. Wait, have I ever lettered? Oh no, the fetus joke is coming back now. Have I ever lettered? I don't think I. Kind of. Oh wait, I mean technically yes, because you could be like sending like your bills and tax forms, and right, that's considered lettering too, right? Like official documents. Oh, what is lettering? No. What is lettering? Oh, what do you mean by lettering then? What? I'm a fetus. That doesn't count. Oh. Oh, what about a birthday card? Like mailing a birthday card. I wrote something in the birthday card. What about birthday cards? That's gotta count for something. Oh, like, you know. Okay, fine. All right. So here's backpack. The purpose of the theme is, since I'm learning Japanese and Chinese, it has to incorporate an element of Chinese and Japanese, whatever it is. So naturally, I added a red panda and a koi fish. So red panda, koi fish. So that's the element. Right. And then I'll show you the second one. This is the second one. This is today's prompt, and it's called the prompt is discover. Discover. So I did a take on Chinese and Japanese ink painting, right? Landscape ink painting. Both Chinese and Japanese share a lot of elements similar. They're kind of incestuous about it. So we did that. So that's my addition of Chinese Japanese elements to discover, which a big landscape and stuff. Is that a person in the lower left quadrant? It most certainly is. That's what you're discovering. Yep. That's the discover part. You know, you have your landscape in front of you. Whenever I think about discover, I think about an adventure like Wanderlust, Escape. It came out all right. Like this one was okay. I think the backpack one ended up being executed a little bit on task. So wait, where do I see your letter post? Is it under events? In your on your Instagram? I clicked on the link, but I'm not entirely sure. Man, I feel like a boomer now. Yeah, I feel like a boomer now. Oh, dude, your setup is less boomery than mine. Yeah, that's your site. Oh no, it's on your IG. Oh, wait, I don't understand. Oh, your Instagram. Oh, like you want me to go to Instagram and use your name. Wait, is that what you're saying? Okay. Oh, okay. Hold up. How do you use Instagram? Oh, that's where you post Inktober stuff. How do you use Instagram? Is like the most recent thing. Like, is it the does the most recent thing show up? Like, I'm here. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Ooh. Roll up curiosity in a backpack. Go drive, explore. Cute. Only something to... I have trouble reading. Only when they take or something go out of your... Who's been swimming naked? Excuse me? I need to log in and stuff. I'll take a closer look. Sorry, I need to log in. Only when the tides go out do you discover who's been swimming naked. Oh. Oh, okay. I ended up on a different Arlo studio. I ended up on arlostudio.atl, and that is certainly not it. Okay. All right. Now that we're done derailing, it's fine. I like it. The lettering. The closest thing I have to lettering is calligraphy, but I guess at this point, writing kanji and Hanzi might as well be considered lettering at this point. I do write a lot, but I don't see it as different from drawing. I should do some lettering. I should write a lettering on each of the prompts. I'll think about it. I'm not very great with lettering. As one may seem, I'm not a very harsh person, if you know what I mean. Arlo, I think you and I might have some conflicting personalities here when it comes to... I'm not necessarily a person who shies away from monologues. It's kind of hard to fit that all in a letter. Maybe a book. Probably at most a book. Okay. Why me? Okay. Alright. Okay. Certainly not. Okay, going to run. Go finish your lesson. You're going to run now? Or, oh, no. As in, you're going to run? Wait, are you literally going to run? Alright, take care. Yeah, thanks for stopping by again, Arlo. We have much other things to talk about. I had some talking topics for the next time we met. So I'll shelve those talking topics for a little bit.
小费
小费 Okay. 小费
走路
天气耳朵鼻子
今天下午会刮风。
今天下午会刮风。
上星期下了雨。上星期
下了雨。下了雨。因为 snow tomorrow。 明天，明天会，明天会可能，明天可能会下雪。
明会
明
会
天
可能
会
下雪。
All right, another day, another beautiful experience.
外面
外面oh, I really hope. Sorry. 外面外面很大风。外面呢？刮？Oh, isn't 刮 ？No.
很大风的
外面的很大风。Guess that word. No, just kidding. Oh, 风很大. Oh, that makes sense now. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
外面
外面风很大。
很大
That makes
很
sense.
大的
Yeah. Okay. We did it! We finished Unit 33. I think we're just gonna retire and then backlog this. We'll catch up. I say this. Wait, I say this, but did I? Oh yeah, I fell behind last unit too. But that's it though. Yeah, we only got two. We only fell back behind in 2 units. It's not a big deal. I think I fell behind on 3 Japanese. So it's fine. 大丈夫です。没问题。没问题。Let's see. Yeah, that's a wrap then for today. Oh no, tomorrow's new vocab day. Refer to colors. Ooh, we're already moving to the new vocab day. Oh, right. I also have to write the things I'm missing. What were the things I was missing? That kept coming up. Was it in Chinese? No, I think it's largely Japanese that I need to remember stuff. Yeah, it's just lung. Lung is fine. Okay. We'll be okay. If not, we'll find out later. No worries. Plenty of time. Alright, folks. That's a wrap. I don't really need to do a take-home message today. We talked about a lot of things, but really... Okay, I'll end with one last message. Really? This is like a super serious note. I want to be really serious about this. If you think when someone asks you, you know, when you ask someone for advice, right, or you're asking for some feedback and you're hoping for a specific type of feedback, and when you hear that feedback, it might not meet your expectations, right? And you continue to talk to this person and say you have tried everything. If you're in that position, you have tried everything. Definitely go find something that isn't everything. That is everything outside yourself, right? So, in a very serious note, I know sometimes people don't hear and see those things. However, yeah, you can't help everyone. I know, I understand. However, you know, it's always worth inculcating. If you're someone who's in a position and you're telling yourself, man, I've tried everything in maybe even a trivial way. Like what I mean is maybe you're not that thing, like say you're solving a problem, like a homework problem, right? Like a homework problem or like a video game problem or something. Oh man, I feel like I tried everything. Seek inspiration. Go talk to someone. Step away for a little. Those things become habit forming even before it matters. Or what I mean is even before it can be incredibly a point of no return, right? We have varying circumstances, varying dependencies. How you solve problems, the most consistent way you solve problems are often going to be your go-to. And if one of the go-to is to go up to someone and say, I don't want to hear anything that I don't want to hear, and also that you think you've tried everything, right? By not hearing everything. That is very scary. That is an incredibly scary place to be. And support system. If not an official job, person who's trained and paid to do so. That creates an obligation. That creates an attempt to break down a barrier that convinces yourself you have tried everything. Meanwhile, you're saying you don't try everything, right? Not hearing everyone's advice and feedback is not, it's hardly construed as trying everything. So hopefully everyone has someone, because I have many people actually. I've been very, very lucky in my life that even someone as dysfunctional as I was when I was younger, much younger, I was very lucky. And later in life, I found out how lucky I was, because later in life is when the stuff hit the fan, like stuff that seems like I tried something and it just doesn't work and whatnot. So those are the times. Making friends, investing in people, don't know when it'll come in handy. Better yourself, right? Better yourself. It's contagious. If you better yourself, you'll better other people will want to better themselves around you, and then you'll attract people who do the same thing. So when you're in trouble, what are the chances that all the people around you are in trouble at the same time? Probably unlikely. And the bigger your support system is, that you can sustain, of course, because your support system can get too big as well and become unsustainable. But if you have enough quality that meets your sustainability, the odds go up. The odds go up with every new person. The odds go up. As in, if you're in trouble, all your fail-safes couldn't possibly be trouble at the same time. Unless, a meteor strikes Earth, then we're all in trouble. So gather your best friends and go to it. Unless the entire human race is in trouble. That's a different story. But let's not talk about that. That's a side joke, of course. Yeah. Go out there. Hopefully you have enough investment in people. I can tell you now, if I'm in trouble, I know who to talk to. Or I know what to do. So, right now I'm basically solving a simple issue, right? In the best way I can, in different ways, and trying different ways, because if I don't try different ways, then I will be inflexible in the future. So how do I solve my fatigue? We'll start by maybe derailing a little less, maybe, or do a little less, that kind of thing. Anyways, I'm gonna get some rest. Everyone else get some rest. Hopefully everyone's doing fine, enjoying language learning. So if you're gonna watch this later, yes, yeah, right? Arigatou gozaimasu. And until next time, 再见。またね。じゃあね。Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye. And cozy.